All right, welcome back to the program. So Jimmy Stewart last night goes to the Brady thing, right? This Jimmy Stewart's a, big timer.
Yeah.
He goes to big time places and hobnobs with big time people.
He does, but more than people would realize.
Runs into interesting people, big contacts and all that.
Correct.
So he ran into someone last night and chatted up someone last night that he thought and we thought, you know what? This would be a good guy to talk to. This would be a good guy good timing. Good guy to talk to.
So when he says he runs into big timers, big people, we talking physically or we talking like stature?
I don't know why big came into mind, but it did. I had the adjective big.
Big.
Large. Let's go to the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. Talk to
clearly using that term loosely.
The newest inductee of the Massachusetts Broadcasters Hall of Fame and the former voice of the Boston Celtics after he pushed Johnny Most down the stairs. Glenn Ordway joins us on the phone. Big O.
Michael, it's not true. I never pushed Johnny down the stairs. That is a lie.
It was a light
100%
shove.
lie.
It was a trip.
That's a fabrication.
And by the way, I never lit his pants on fire either. I'm the one that put the pants out. I put the fire out.
I told you, I was the victim here.
I didn't burn his pants.
Thank you, Jimmy.
I lit his jacket and his house on fire.
It's the Big O. What's up, Glenn?
How are you, Michael, Tony?
It's good.
How you doing,
Glenn.
Jimmy?
Massachusetts Broadcasters Hall of Fame?
You'll be in here someday, Felger. And if you can't get in, I'll tell you who to pay off so you can get in. All right, I'll give you the little ropes, the inside information.
Well deserved, Glenn.
Well, obviously no morals clause in that Hall of Fame.
No, not mess.
Who's in the class? Who else is going in with you?
Pebbles was in a woman that's like almost 100 years old. She was like a TV pioneer or whatever, which is pretty. Allison King is in. Who else? There are a bunch of people. There were like 9 people in there.
Okay, so we would say headlining the class of the 2024.
It doesn't matter, Felga. The point is, I'm getting inducted. Just me.
You still watch basketball, Big O?
You kidding me, Felger? I am retired now. I have plenty of free time. I have literally, I'm going to tell you this, and talk about a get-a-lifer. I have watched every single Celtics game this season. Regular season, postseason, not preseason. Screw that. Every single regular season and postseason game, either live, in person, on TV live, or DVR. Every single one of them.
Okay, so you're.
You picking? By the way, are you picking on Tatum today?
We pick on him every day. We pick on everyone every day.
Damn.
You guys are crazy. You have no idea what he's doing out there. He is exactly what you want in an athlete. A guy that doesn't have a huge ego, that is willing to sacrifice his own game for the betterment of the team. And they are awesome. This team is phenomenal.
You have no idea how good this man really is.
You don't know the game, Felga.
Shut up, Tony. Shut up, Tony.
You don't appreciate. But Glenn.
Glenn, no, seriously. So, because we get calls like this, so you're a good guy to ask. This team versus the 08 team versus those teams in the 80s versus 76 if you want to go.
I would give the 86 team a nod over this team, but I would say that this team might be the second best or third best Celtic team of all time. You got to look at them historically, guys. So here's what we do. And we do this in the media, and I did the same crap, so I'm not faulting you for it. And that is, you've got to produce 4 hours every day. So we're constantly breaking down and trying to find some fault, and there's fault in everything. So you can find fault in this team. But when you look at the entire season, and granted, they got a little bit of luck in the playoffs with some injuries or whatever, this team is so good. They are so deep. So if you want to double, if you want to triple Tatum, if you want to overplay Brown, then guess what? Derek White becomes the hero of the first round of the playoffs against Miami. And everybody raves about Derek White. Well, Derek White is the recipient of the fact that defensively they are overplaying your 2 big stars. Same thing happened with Holiday in the last series. So I'm telling you, I understand from a perspective of people looking at Tatum and saying, why isn't he scoring 40 every night? If he's scoring 40 every night, this team is not winning. They're not winning. He's doing those things that we all love in professional athletes. They're sacrificing part of their game, part of their ego, so that the team can win. This team is really good.
Glenn, what do you think of Dončić?
I think he is an out-of-shape Larry Bird.
So
Is that a good description of him?
Yeah,
I mean, he's got
it
the,
is.
No, but
It
that's
is.
like a half major compliment, like half of that.
No, he's got the. But Larry was like that early on. Larry was hanging around Rick Roby. They were drinking all the time. They were out late at night, and Larry was not in great shape. And then he finally figured out one day, I can't do this for my entire career. And he woke up. If you notice, Dončić will take over a game in the first quarter. Look at his numbers in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, he's worn out. He's tired. How is that for a guy that's 25 years of age? I could see you, Felger, being worn out, but he's 25. He's not worn out. What are we doing here?
Yeah, Glenn, it's because you have a better body than he does.
You know what, Tony, that's the nicest thing you've ever said about me. I appreciate that. I'm going to take that as a compliment.
If the voice sounds familiar, it is, folks. It's Glenn Ordway, the Big O, joining us here for a stint. He's being inducted into the Massachusetts Broadcasters Hall of Fame tonight. Glenn, how do you feel about the way, where the game has gone? The reliance on the three-pointer, the way it's played, 5 out, all that sort of stuff.
So I don't know. You would probably call me a shill, knowing you. I'm going to tell you, I love the game back in the 80s. Matter of fact, if you watch the WNBA, that's basically the NBA in the 1980s, 1990s. So I loved the game then, but I love the game today. I love the threes. I do. If a guy can hit the ball from 26 feet out, 28 feet out, why wouldn't you love that? Now, maybe they've got to make some revisions. Maybe they've got to back that line up a little bit. In the old days, guards could take three-pointers, but big guys, forwards, centers, they never took three-point shots. Give you an example of it. Larry Bird was a great three-point shooter. He averaged 2.5 attempts per game. I think Steph Curry averages about 14.
Okay, Big O. So last night, Mr. Celtic here, you had a chance to watch the Celtics or go to the Brady thing. You went to the Brady thing.
I went to the Brady event.
So how'd you feel about that?
What do you mean how I felt about that? I had my YouTube TV in front of me. I know you're technologically inept.
I wouldn't
but
do
I
it.
had my phone with me, Felger, and I was watching the Celtics game at the same time. Did it freeze a few times? A couple hundred times it probably froze, and I kind of missed out some of the game. I thought the Brady thing was. Were you guys there? It was exceptional.
No, while we were there.
Ask Jimmy. Ask Jimmy. People were crying, Felger. You would not like it. Men were crying. It was not your type of event.
Or is that you and Bill did the reach around thing when you guys agreed to each other?
That was it. Hey, Bill got a 5-minute standing ovation.
2. It was 2.
5 minutes.
It was 2.
It was not 2.
It was 2.
It was 5 minutes.
We played it earlier.
Typical Felger, just try to beat the guy down.
No, Glenn. This is the reason we left your show in the first place, because you exaggerated things to the point where they weren't true.
Tony, let's be honest. You and Felger left it for more money. Okay, let's be honest.
No doubt.
Let's fess up. You guys rip athletes all the time about money. You guys left for money.
It's because you weren't paying anything.
It's about the real truth. Money in the
Okay, there might have been a few problems along the way, yes.
The Big O card has expired, guys. I'm sorry, I can't afford you anymore.
Glenn, how's Bill doing? I know you must have talked to him. How's he doing?
I think he's doing okay. I mean, you know what Bill is. I mean, I hate to say it, but because you've spent some time with him, so
Long time
you can't. No, you have. You can't hide. You've spent some time with him.
Long time ago.
He was on the boat, Glenn.
Okay,
Don't let him kid you.
okay, because he gets sick of you and he dumps you.
That's right.
But But the fact is that he's going to make the best of this situation. So, and that's exactly what he's doing. He went and did the roast because he knew it was going to help his image. He's going to be great on Monday Night Football because he will say stuff. He was terrific, I thought, draft night with Pat McAfee. You can say the last few years, and I'm not going to debate with you. I think you guys have been right. The last few years, his drafting has been horrible. And so he probably needed a change of venue. But I think you're going to find him bouncing. He'll do a year of media. He'll bounce back, and he'll be coaching a year from now.
Okay, Big O.
Can I ask you one more basketball question real quick? Because I am curious as to your opinion, Glenn. I'm not joking. What do you think of Missoula?
So I wasn't crazy about him last year, Tony. I thought he made a lot of mistakes. He seemed to be really immature when it came to the game. I mean, his timeouts are obvious that, what are you doing? Your team is falling apart. The other team just went on a 16-0 run, Joe. You going to call a timeout here? How about calling a timeout? I think this year he's been much better. I really do. And obviously he's getting something out of those guys. And a big part of coaching in the NBA, I mean, everybody talks about, how important is a coach? It's not like a football coach who is the CEO and sets up the whole system. You have like 14 assistant coaches that are working on individual games. And what does a head coach really do? So Greg Popovich is supposed to be one of the greatest coaches of all time. Why does this team suck right now? I mean, he had the first pick in the draft last year, and the kid's been tremendous. It's because it's all about players in the NBA. So I think the best thing you can do is be able to motivate your players, get them ready for a game, put them in a position to win. And I can't bitch about Joe Mazzulla. I think he's done most of that stuff this year. And was I worried about him going into the playoffs? You bet your ass I was. I was concerned because I thought it's going to be a decision here or a decision there that's going to be the difference. But right now, up 3-0 in the finals, I would say he's looking pretty good.
Big O, congratulations again.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Glenn,
it's always great talking with you.
Okay.
Well,
Mazz, how's your golf game? Any good?
Garbage. Long overdue, that honor, Glenn, in all seriousness. Long overdue.
Well, thank you. And it's funny because you guys' name was brought up to me by numerous people today, and they said, you've had so many guys that, you brought into the business, and I laugh at this because when I look back at it, I say, well, what was I supposed to do? I was hiring the best people around me that I possibly could find. Like you hired Jim Murray. Why? Because he's really good at what he does. So you want to have the best people around you. Why would I want stiffs? Why would you hire guys that are incompetent, they can't do the job? So I'm proud of what you guys have done. I have.
Thank you, Glenn. It's like Belichick taking credit for Brady here.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, we couldn't leave you fast enough if you wanted to know the truth, Glenn.
Big O, congratulations. Thanks again.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay.
See ya.
Glenn Ordway.
Let me know when you're up here. We'll get out there.
Massachusetts Broadcasters Hall of Fame.